Hello. Hi, Virginia. How are you? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. How was your day, Virginia? How was your day? Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. As always, thanks for the like. Ooh, I turned my phone off because today is Wednesday, my spin day, and I know my granddaughter's going to be calling me again about her food, probably. Glad you had a great day. But I told her already after the live, I will be bringing over their snacks or their food from Chick-fil-A. Glad you had a great day. Hump day, folks. Hump day, hump day. Yes, the spin day, the spin day. Uh, yeah, got to get back on track. Got to get back on track. But I've been doing okay. Yeah, considering everything, I've been doing okay thus far with that. But yeah, hello, Rooted in Essential Oils. How are you? How are you? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I am going to get right into it, right into it. Of course, two emoji limit, two emoji limit. Going to be talking about cars today. There's going to be some tips. I'll tell you some of my stories, or one or two of my stories with regards to my first car and dream car and the car that I have now. Just a little bit, just a little mishmash of different things with regards to car tips, etc. So here goes. Uh, well. So way back when, so many years ago, my first car, and everyone nowadays know how expensive gas is. We see it each and every day, or however often we go fill up. We're passing by gas stations on our way here, there, from our home to our jobs, etc. We are seeing these gas prices, and in some places they're going up, up, up. Some places they are going down, but we know that it changes each and every day. So, talk about getting a car, a new car, or even a used car can be daunting, scary, all of that good stuff, because most people don't want to have another car payment or anything like that. They're probably trying to pay off the vehicle that they have, keep it maintained well, which is what I am trying to do over here. All of that good stuff, as is my husband with his truck. And so people don't have to go into debt. And these car prices are out of this world, out of this world. And I took the time to download something, but I did want to mention with regards to when the pandemic was happening, and maybe before that, they had the shipping issue, and was probably, and I know it was a shipping supply chain issue during the pandemic here, and getting, I guess, the chips and what have you. And then, of course, no one was out buying vehicles, et cetera, anything like that, except for the wealthy, probably. Uh, that really caused people to kind of sort of like really look and consider strongly whether they wanted to purchase a new vehicle when everything would eventually, be done and over with, or to keep the one that they got, run it down to the ground, and then go and purchase a new one, et cetera, depending on what their family dynamic was. But my first car, has been so long ago, it was a Chevrolet of some type. I know it had four doors, four doors, and four wheels, and that was about it that I remember of it. It didn't last that long, um, and when I purchased it from one of these dealerships where they do their own financing, that type of thing. So that was just not good. When you know better, you do better, and I did after that. One of those types of places. Don't even remember the interest rate, but just not good at all. Just not good at all. And hopefully, to the young folks that are listening out here, do not do that. Do not do that. And as always, you got to do your research. You got to do your research, which is a few tips I'm going to bring with regards to that. But yeah, after that was over and done with, I went to a dealership and actually purchased a vehicle. And since I did not have enough credit at the time, but of course this place let me, get one, what have you. But I went to a dealership this time and I needed a cosigner. And thank goodness my father-in-law co-signed the loan for me, which was great. And it was great. And of course, I got the vehicle, paid it off, never missed a payment, anything like that. And that went well. And then the next vehicle that I got, well, that the vehicle that I got that my father-in-law co-signed for, God rest his soul, thank you, thank you. was a Ford Tempo, champagne colored, four doors once again, and it was a good vehicle. It lasted for a good little time, a good little time. And then the next vehicle that I got was a brand new 2001 Honda Civic, and I've been on that Honda bandwagon since then, since then, since then. Now I did go and get a Nissan, but it was still foreign made. But yes, and I drove that until the transmission started to, act a little crazy. Didn't have or want to put the money into getting um, a new transmission, I should say. And so, yeah, at some point, I donated the vehicle to Cars for Kids, some another like that, all that good stuff. And that was the end of that. And then after that, since my husband had two vehicles, I just drove the other vehicle that he had for a little while. And then my daughter sold me her Nissan Altima. Yeah, so I got that, and yeah, I had that for a little bit, and sometimes things go bump in the night, and that was the end of that. And she also had another vehicle that she had purchased for my grandson. And when you're purchasing, these young folks when they're 15 or 16 and they're first driving, things go bump in the night, etc., and they have these accidents, etc., which my daughter did when she was starting to drive. Also went to, but yeah, it had some damage to it. But she gave me the car, and I got the repairs done to it, which was great. It was like $3,000 to get all the repairs done to it, etc., and to get it, to pass inspection, all this good stuff. So that was great. And that is the car that I am currently driving, another Honda, 2004 Honda V6 Accord EX. Yes, all of that. So yes, that is the car that I have now. But yeah, you have to do your research when you're out here trying to purchase a car. And for the ladies, of course, I am one, what have you. We have to be very careful, especially if we are single and we may not have many male friends in our life that knows about cars, because that is a thing now also into that some young men that may be in their 20s or 30s did not grow up learning how to fix cars, never been around cars. They may have grown up in these big metropolitan cities where they caught the bus, the subway, etc. They know zero about how to maintain a car, etc. Maybe not know how to put gas in a car, but that's a whole nother topic in of itself. And they may have never purchased a car, so they have zero interactions with going to a dealership, knowing how to talk, work the sales, work the salespeople, etc., to get you or themselves a good deal. And it's possible that they don't know anyone, like a father or someone like that, that would be able to help them, or an uncle, and they may be too ashamed to ask, like a friend or coworker or someone from work, hey, since you're an older guy, maybe you can give me some pointers, tips, or go with me to the dealership to make sure that I'm doing what it is that I'm supposed to do. So if you are a young lady, and of course, if you are living alone, living single, and all this other stuff, and you want to purchase a vehicle, of course, always Google it. Information is out here on the internet and on YouTube. Lots of places to go to get information about car buying, things to look for, things to look out for, etc. And of course, one of the best things that someone can do, like me, other young ladies, other young men, what have you, is to come up with a pro and con list as to why you want to purchase a new or a used vehicle. Of course, you're going to know your price range as to what you would like to pay for a vehicle, new or used, etc. And some people may consider leasing, but I just want to kind of sort of stick to buying a new or used car. And I wrote down some tips. That's what I want to stick with. I know for me, when I first got the car, way back when, the first one, the Chevrolet, my whole thing was I needed a vehicle. I needed a vehicle. It wasn't anything else. I didn't care about the payments, what have you. I needed a vehicle. I need a vehicle. Bad thinking, bad thinking, bad thinking. Now that I know better, I'm doing better and sticking with trying to buy a car at this point in my life, you know, straight cash, or just hang out and wait until I get the cash to buy straight cash, etc. Not in a hurry, not in a hurry. But yeah. And of course, depending on the type of vehicle that you get, because when you go and do your research, and of course, everything is subjective, et cetera, based on a whole host of factors, where you live, the climate, all this other stuff, how you're going to use the vehicle, et cetera. But, they will say that, the foreign cars last longer, get more miles over time, et cetera. But of course, maintenance, upkeep, et cetera, how hard you're driving it, where you're driving it, a whole host of things come into play with regards to that, etc. But definitely make sure that you do a pro and con list for yourself with regards to why are you buying? Why am I buying this car? What is the purpose, etc., etc. So I live in Maryland, as you all know. So I went to one of the dealerships that's close to me called Ourisman. And I just printed out, I just put in 2023 Honda Accord EX sedan, and it gives you all the information, how many miles per gallon, the city, the highway, 2937. This one has a transmission that is CVT, continuously variable transmission. I know something about that because the Nissan that I had a CVT type of transmission in it, and it went out, and of course, thank goodness it was under, I think, the 120,000 miles at that particular time. So I took it back to the Nissan dealership, and they gave me a whole new one, or refurbished one, I think is how they actually say, a new, which is refurbished transmission. And so it pretty much had a new transmission in it at the time, and then something went bump, and then it is no longer with me. But yeah, continuously variable transmission, something to look out for. And another thing to research also into, because when that happened with my Honda, with the Nissan, I was like, oh my goodness, this, what I was thinking, this Form A car, like what's going on, that it's only 120,000 miles, and now the transmission is acting crazy. Because when it all happened, I wasn't too far from my house, and I was at a stop sign, and the car would not move or do anything. So thank goodness my husband was home, not working, and he came, and we towed it to, like chained it up to the back of his truck, and I was behind it, and he just I don't know what all, dragged it, whatever, to the dealership. We got it there, and then they did all the stuff, etc. So thank goodness for that. But these are some of the things that people need to know. And when I printed, well, I'm going with this. So on here it says that it was a Cannon River blue metallic exterior, black leather, and the manufacturer suggested retail price, which is just that. The manufacturer is suggesting, this is their suggested retail price of $30,705. Ourisman here is given a discount of $750, making Ourisman price $29,955, a $1,000 Honda loyalty appreciation offer, making the final price $28,955. Now, if just like me, when I looked, I was like, oh wow, it can't be that inexpensive. And this is just their price, supposedly, etc., etc. But when I went down further and turned, well, not turned, but I'm turning here, but looked on the thing, there's a whole host of stuff that, of course, the fine print is important, people. The fine print is important. And of course, the first thing they tell you, price does not include tax, tags, title, registration, electronic filing fee, processing fee of $500. And then it says not required by law. Then why is it on here? And icon, and it says optional, $1,299. And there's a whole host of things. And I just want to read some of it for the young ladies and the young men when they go there, and they're telling you this one price, but and as if anyone has ever bought a new car or a used car knows that by the time they start running the numbers, et cetera, it is way more. It is way more than the price that they gave you initially. So we just have to keep that in mind. It also goes on to say the MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price, it does not include any taxes, fees, or other charges. Pricing and availability may vary based on a variety of factors, including options, dealer, specials, fees, and financing qualifications. So, of course, you have to qualify for the financing. And in order to get a special price or supposedly the manufacturer suggested retail price along with just the taxes and tags, title fees, and anything that your state may require. You're going to have to qualify for the financing unless you pay cash, and there's something for that also in too. But options, like if you want to get certain specific things put into your car, all the options, not the stuff that comes standard, you're going to have to pay additionally for that, which is not included in that price that I just mentioned. And of course, it says consult your dealer for actual price and complete details, because you are going to be providing other details for the options that you want in your vehicle or something you want removed. So we have to make sure that we are making sure that we know what it is that we want when we go there, or talk to them on the phone. It's always best to go, in my opinion. And of course, the financing qualifications. And I know just like with a home, people may pre-qualify, they may go to a bank, etc., and get pre-qualified for a particular amount, and that way they don't have to deal with the dealership financing or the automaker financing, as I call it. And so, and hopefully, if they're at a credit union or something like that, they are getting a better interest rate if they are doing that. Pricing shown is non-binding and does not constitute an offer. So the price that I mentioned, the $28,955, is not a binding offer, because some people may think that, oh, this is the price that they're going to charge me when I go down there and start talking to them. No, it is not. It tells you right here in this fine print that's on here. And of course, the contract will have loads and loads and loads of words, legalese for you to cipher through. It says, you may not qualify for the offers, incentives, discount, or financing. So go in knowing that they have a whole bag of tricks with all of these things that you may or may not qualify. And the only thing in my brain that comes to my brain readily is your credit worthiness, your credit score, your credit history. They're going to look at that, and that may exclude you from, any offers or incentives or discounts or even the financing that the dealership is offering you. So please make sure we are always reading the fine print for any and everything that we buy. Goodness knows of high value. Our home, of course, getting that home mortgage, cars, etc. If we're buying a boat or boats, etc., all that type of thing. ATVs, make sure that we're reading the fine print. Make sure that we are reading the fine print. It also says offers, incentives, discounts, or financing are subject to expiration and other restrictions that they will probably tell you when you get to the dealership. They may not, delineate or lie or say you may not qualify for, the $3,000 discount that they give you for whatever reason. They will probably tell you that when you get to the dealership that you don't qualify for it. They are there to make money to get you to go into their the auto manufacturer or their financing, okay, all of that good stuff, and of course to save the vehicle. And then that goes on to say images, prices, and options shown, including vehicle color, trim options, pricing, and other specific specifications are subject to availability. So what you're seeing on the website may or may not be available when you get down to the dealership. That should be something standard. And then it goes on to say a few other things. If you're having your vehicle transported from one dealership in another state to here because you don't like any of the colors, or maybe the one that's in another state close to you has all the options already in the vehicle and you don't want to wait for them to put in the options that you want, etc. But God knows, please make sure that you, me, and the next person, that we are reading all the fine print that is here with regards to buying a new or a used vehicle. And some of the things that I wrote down on here for things to consider for yourself, for you and or your family, if you have one. The purpose of the vehicle. Why are you buying this new or used vehicle? Is it because the car that you have is 15 or 20 years old? It has been giving you a lot of trouble. You already know that it's not worth putting the amount of money that you may need to put into it. to have it go for just a year may be too short of a time period for you to put in $2,000 or $3,000 into the vehicle, and you would just rather use that $2,000 or $3,000 to put into a new or used vehicle. What is the purpose of the vehicle that you are buying? Another thing I wrote, optional items. Do you need all the optional items, all the goodies that they are trying to entice you with? Do you need the sunroof? Do you need the thing to click it to make the trunk open without your doing it yourself? Do you need all the bells and whistles? Do you need that? Do you need that? And of course, we always have to consider the cost, which we talked about here a little bit, the actual cost when you put in all those options, everything, any type of discounts that you may or may not qualify for, all of that we have to be careful. We have to be careful. The cost. Of course, if you're going to finance, and a lot of people, and I was one of them when I bought the 2001 Honda. Oh, I can make that monthly payment, not thinking about the 5 years that is going to take me to pay the vehicle off, or the interest rate, or anything like that. I am able to make the monthly payment, is what a lot of us have in our brains, in our minds, in our heads when we are uh, looking at a vehicle, financing a vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, if you want to pre-qualify, then if you are with a credit union, sometimes they may have specials for a long period of time and a better rate of interest than what the dealer financing may offer you. So just explore and consider all of your options. We have the internet, so you can go on there and use the calculators to see what your payment would be if you pay, if you put down so much money, or if you had a trade in. It can give you a good guesstimate as to what your monthly payment would be, how many years slash how many months, which equates to years, that you will be paying for it, etc. So you can have some good working knowledge before you go down there and all that stuff. Are you going to get a warranty on this new and or used vehicle? And where are you going to get it from? Will you get it from the dealership? Will you get it from one of these people that advertise here on these streets and in advertisements that we hear on the radio, warranty, etc. And of course, the maintenance, overall upkeep, repair, just some things for you to consider when you're doing your pros and cons list, all the things that you need to consider for you and your family before you go and make the purchase of a new or used car. The overall cost of repair and upkeep and maintenance. Will you be doing the basic stuff like the oil changes? I don't know whether they do spark plugs anymore. I don't know, tune-ups, etc. Buying miscellaneous things for the vehicle so that it can keep running. Whatever comes up, are you handy like that, or is your spouse, husband, is he handy like that? Do you know a jackleg mechanic, as we call it, or shade tree mechanic? Do you know one of those type of people that is real good with all types of vehicles? And that's initially when I was talking about, you know, I was referring to people that may have not interacted with cars. Like my husband, he's pretty handy with the cars because his dad taught him, things about the car. So he can work on a car that isn't electronically inclined and one that is electronically inclined. For the most part, for some of the more basic things like changing the brakes, oil changes, doing the rotor stuff, even though he didn't want to mess around this time. But yeah, he's pretty handy with that type of thing. Are you that? Is your husband that? Do you know someone that will help you with that? And of course, and I go through the oil change place, the quick Jiffy Lube type place, what have you, ever so often to get it done. And you have to keep up with the maintenance if you want the car, of course, to keep going on. Thank everyone so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I am just on a tangent here to get this information out. Thank you so much, Lala Red, for being here. I do appreciate it. I think I saw the Bud Files. I know I saw Rooted. And thanks everyone for being here. I do appreciate it. And of course, like I mentioned at the top, gas prices, gas prices, gas prices. Of course, it depends on what state you're in and your little city, town, etc. And of course, the prices fluctuate day to day, day to day. And there may be times during the year where it's a little bit lower or higher. And of course, when the pandemic was happening, no one was going any place and it really went down. We don't want that to happen again, the pandemic. but gas prices. Keep in mind the gas prices. That is a part of the upkeep of the car. And of course, the number of drivers. If you have those 15 or 16-year-olds that are getting their learners and their license and all this other stuff, will they be driving this vehicle? Will they be driving this vehicle? Or you're giving them the older vehicle and now you're getting a, you're upgraded. You're doing an upgrade for yourself with a new and or used vehicle for yourself. It'll be new to you. The number of drivers. If everyone is going to be driving this vehicle, the 15 and 16-year-olds, of course, you have to consider the insurance. That's going to be an extra cost, the insurance. And trust, if they are just living at your house and they are driving age, they're gonna tack them on there, what have you. You got a vehicle, they got a key fob, whatever they're doing now, then they will the insurance company is gonna slap them on that insurance policy, and that is another cost of doing business. Hello, Joshua. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Of course, insurance costs that might be more than, if you got that 15 or 16-year-old, that might be more than the monthly payments of the vehicle. Trust. Of course, the distance that you are going to drive the vehicle each and every day, and what is the traffic like when you're driving it? Is it mostly interstate driving? Of course, for they told you the city miles, which is an estimate, city and highway miles, which is an estimate. So will you be doing a lot of city driving, or both how interstate highway and city driving, etc.? How many miles will you be putting on the car daily? And you get an idea how many miles you're going to be driving it each year. And if you know that you're the type that likes to go out and to drive your vehicle everywhere, like you're traveling 2 or 3 states over to see your parents or your in-laws or something other like that, and you always like to drive to those places, consider all of that also into, and the wear and tear, and of course maintenance, include the tires, and of course the other stuff that I need to get into because I don't want that car to everything is crossed, folks. Everything is crossed. Like rotating the tires, that type of thing, which does not come to my brain until when I'm talking about it. So yeah, definitely that pro and cons list. Hi, you're driving. Touche. We're talking about cars. But yes, that pro and con list is going to be helpful, folks. That pro and con list is going to be helpful, starting with why am I purchasing this new and or used, which would be new to me car. Why am I purchasing it? Why am I purchasing it? And also, if you're solely just on the thing about getting a new car, can you purchase a used vehicle? Consider purchasing a used vehicle. It does not have to be new, and I'm not trying to sway anyone. We're just having a conversation. You're fixated on getting a new vehicle for whatever reason. Consider getting a used vehicle, the same type of vehicle that you want new. Consider getting one that is used, and that will work for you and your family also in too. So consider buying used if you can find something which is the same as the new one you want to buy. If you can find something, just strongly consider it. Just strongly consider it. Make sure you put that on your list also into to look at used vehicles also into. And also, can you, and this is where the budgeting and the money comes in. It's all money, because if you're going to buy the car, if you don't buy it straight cash, you're going to be doing financing. So that is money too. Can you hold off from buying the car, new and or used, until you come up with a third of the money that the car costs, or half of the money that the car costs, so that your payment will be in the range that you want? Because when you do your pro and con list and you writing down all these, in addition to the pro and con list, you're doing the numbers also into. When you write down how much the car costs per this, and then you go and you see what the options are, and you start, because you're going online, you start clicking, putting it over there, like the options you want: a spoiler, a kit, a this, a that, all of these things. You want the sunroof, the panoramic view type thing, etc. The windows don't roll down like they used to. Okay, so there you want that too. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're doing the numbers and you're looking at how much all of that is costing. So let's say it's $50K. If you are a budgeter, and if you're not, this that may be a point. This may be where you're like, okay, I need to save some money for a good down payment so that I can manage, I can handle the monthly payment is not a problem. And I'm just not, oh, I can make the monthly payment. It's okay, this is the monthly payment that I want. Vice, I can make this payment. I know you all understand what it is that I'm saying. So make sure, and of course, make sure that you are running the numbers. Make sure that you are running the numbers. And then, like I said initially, ask yourself, hey, can I hold off until I save up one third or one half? Those are just the fractions that I chose. You can decide on your own, obviously, what your number will be. Can you hold off and save up to get to that point? And sometimes when people buy their, like, say for instance, if I was going to purchase a new car, after I gotten that car that I have now, would have been the time for me to start saving for the next car. And I know you might say, oh, you're jinxing yourself by doing that. No, no, no. You're just, planning ahead, because things do not last. It was man-made. Things do not last forever. Things do not last forever. So you have to kind of sort of plan ahead. But yeah, just ask yourself, can I hold off on buying it and financing it, and the payment that I'm looking at, I really can't afford, but I will make a way to afford it, just like I can pay the payment type thing. Can I hold off to pay one third or one half of the down payment for the car, and then the rest of it, because you run the numbers, you know that, okay, I am going to have a payment in this particular payment range, and it's easy. It's not a problem for me. Okay. Yeah, and I've just mentioned what I wrote down here for number 4. Don't look at the monthly payment. Look at the number of months and the interest rate that you are going to be paying for the vehicle. Hello, Sweet Ree. How are you? Hello, Lala Red. I don't know if I spoke to you prior or not. How are you doing, Sweet Ree? How are you doing, Sweet Ree? Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I do appreciate it. Doing a little card talk. Doing a little card talk. Doing a little card talk. Yes. Don't look at the monthly payment like most people do, and like I did when I bought my first brand new car, a 2001 Honda Civic 2-door. I can pay this monthly payment. I didn't care about any of that other stuff. I can pay the payment. And a lot of us, I do believe, tend to do that. I can pay the payment. And we really don't look at the interest rate and or the number of months, i.e. the number of years that we are going to be paying for. And I know that some people, depending on how much they are paying per month, and if it's, kind of sort of, if it's real, real low, then it's probably they have more months that they're paying for the vehicle. And of course, if you are able to pre-qualify, like with a credit union or your bank or something, at a lower interest rate than what the dealer may be offering, it's going to be very helpful and good to you. But yeah, just of course, as always, take your time, do your research. Oh, you have to get another car soon, Sweet Ree. Oh my goodness, shaking head. Yes, and I know that you have a husband. I know that you have a husband, and that is a good thing. And I'm just going to kind of sort of do a little recap of some of the things that I mentioned. Of course, Google is our friend, and of course, there are lots of um, uh, channels on the internet talking about cars, giving car tips, best times to buy, a whole host of things, in and everything that you can think of. There is a channel for that, and a whole host of things. And in my brain, I know I've seen a couple of channels. I don't know their names, but it's a father and son. And I think the father was a salesman or something or another. There might be quite a few of them out there like that. But yeah, not today, but many months back, I had went over there and was just kind of sort of listening, what have you. And at the time, they were talking about going into the dealership, and you already know that you want to buy the car straight out for cash while you are there. And then, of course, they're not trying to get you. I think they were saying they're not trying to get you to do that because they want you to finance, of course, so they can get that interest and all that good stuff. And so he said, the manager going to keep going back and forth. Don't do that. Just leave, because you already know what it is. And the person that's selling you the car already knows what it is also. He don't have to keep going back and forth. They just keep going, just to keep you sitting there thinking, you're going to change your mind or do something different, et cetera, et cetera. Just don't do that. Let me see what Sweet Rhea is saying. I just got my service today and they sent me recommendations that cost more than the value of my car. I have a headache. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah, whew. Yes, do your research. Don't, and I put on here, do not go by yourself. Do not go by yourself. That's not you, Sweet Reed, but just anyone. And I was mentioning at the top for the single ladies that are out here that may not have a father or a good uncle that knows how to navigate these things at a car dealership, or just may not have them present in their lives at all. Hopefully, they can find some. Of course, the Google internet is going to be your friend to where you can grab a whole lot of information and have it handy, and that is a good starting point. And it may be the person's endpoint, because if they don't have someone in their lives that they can say, hey, I'm trying to and want to buy a new and or used car, and I got a whole lot of information, I know what I want, I got the pros and cons, I got all the things that I mentioned here, they kind of sort of got it together, maybe at a 7, and they need someone to go in with them that is knowledgeable about purchasing a vehicle, that they've done it before. There may be a salesman that have sold cars before, etc. Maybe they can give you some pointers. Maybe you can, buy, buy their time, say, hey, go with me to the dealership and I will pay you such and such. And you tell them what all you're looking to do, etc., etc. All of these good things, Because when you're out here and you are a young lady, and a lot of us are independent and single and living alone and all these other things, and we just may not have a person in our lives that can help us. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy, but that just where my brain goes. It's going to be your husband, your man, salesman person, or someone other like that will go and help you negotiate a deal if you've never done it, don't feel comfortable doing it, etc., etc., etc. But definitely, besides writing down, like I said, the pro and con list, you got to run the numbers. And if you can hold off until you save up enough money for a good, hefty down payment, 1/3 or 1/2, but you pick your own number. It could be 10,000, 20,000, etc., depending on the type of vehicle you want, new and or used, etc. Then I would highly suggest doing so that you can get the payment that, that you can, so that you can get the payment that you want, not the one that you can, I can handle this payment, just like I did. I can handle that particular payment, not thinking about the interest rate or the number of months that I was going to be paying for when I bought the 2001 way back when. So yeah, if you're out here, you're living alone, you're living single, yeah, definitely, as with anything that we are out here buying, and cars are no exception. Hello, Alonzo Hall. How are you? Thanks so much for being here. Shangy Girl, thanks so much. Shangy Girl, thanks so much. Thanks so much. If you want your link drop, share out this live to your community wall. I do appreciate it. Hello, Miss Patty. How are you, Miss Patty? Patty's Kitchen Garden and more. Thanks so much for being here. But yeah, and of course, like I mentioned before, I have a 2004 Honda Accord EX V6 coupe, 2-door. Yes. And I got that from my daughter for free. And I just had to make the repairs and stuff to it. And yeah. But yeah, the little example that I pulled down from Ourisman, and Sweet Ree may know, about Ourisman Honda over here, a 2023 Honda Accord EX sedan, gives you all the information that they want to tell you and get you in. And the manufacturer suggested retail price, $30,705. $750 discount, bringing it to $29,955. Then a $1,000 Honda loyalty appreciation offer. And it had details highlighted in blue. Always click on the stuff that's highlighted in blue, and always read the fine print, of course, and always read just any and everything 2 or 3 times over to make sure that you fully understand what it is that they are saying. And it's helpful to have a notepad or something by your side so that you can, write down questions that come into your head, because you may not know what some of this stuff is, like I didn't, and you just want to, because a lot of questions will come into your head and you can't keep them in your head. It's best to have a paper and pencil handy so that you write things down. So the final price is $28,955. But when I did on the internet and I printed it out. Lots of fine print just here on this thing alone, and goodness knows a contract. That is just a manufacturer suggested retail price. Don't include any taxes. Yeah, it does not include any taxes, fees, or other charges. Um, Pricing provided may vary significantly between the website and a dealer as a result of supply chain constraints. Yeah. Pricing shown is non-binding and does not constitute an offer. So this price that they put on here is not the price that you're going to pay or probably even see when you go to the dealership. They may not have this particular car available when you go there, etc. And any options. What does it say? Yes. uh, Options, dealers, specials, fees, and financial qualification. You may not qualify for that. And the pricing and availability will depend on some of these things that you may or may not qualify for. You have to read the fine print. You have to read the fine print. And I know that Christmas is coming up, and maybe some husband, hey guys, listen, is considering buying his or her wife, girlfriend, significant other a vehicle, whether new or used or what have you. And hopefully, you've been in the game long enough to where you can get a good deal, get a good deal. But there's nothing wrong with waiting if your vehicle is in, good shape. Save up, save up, save up, save up for it. But definitely read. Make sure you read all the fine print. Like I was saying before, when I first vehicle I got was a Chevy something or another. It was 4-door, and uh, dealership find well, not dealership, but the little the trailer, the dealerships, quote unquote, that have the trailers. That is where I went and got mine at their own financing, and you go and you pay them. Don't go that route, folks. Don't go that route, young ladies, young men, etc. Don't go that route. And then the next vehicle I got was a Ford Tempo, and that lasted a good little while. And my father-in-law co-signed for that loan for me. Yes, and that went well. That went well. That lasted for a while, and then I got the 2001 Honda Civic. That is no longer with me. It lasted for 16 years. Great car. So now I'm on Honda, and I did have a Nissan Altima, but something went bump in the night, and it is no longer. It is no longer. But definitely make sure. Yeah, and with regards, like I mentioned prior, some of the young men that some of our daughters, may encounter nowadays. May not have had someone in their lives, a father or an uncle or something, to show them how to navigate purchasing a vehicle, or showing them how to make repairs, or just make repairs. Like in the olden days, my husband knows how to do these type of things. He's handy with the hands. I shouldn't say that, but nonetheless, um, with regards to repairing cars, he's handy. He knows how to do quite a few things, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing. And some of the young men that are daughters and nieces, etc., may not encounter this type of guy that knows, that's handy with cars, know how to, fix things, repair basic, simple things with the cars, or even how to negotiate with car buying, etc. So make sure that we connect them with an older uncle or somebody that knows how to repair cars, or someone other like that, and someone that can, go down there with them to help them negotiate, etc. And of course, take a mechanic if you're buying a used one. For sure, make sure you take a mechanic. Make sure you take a mechanic so that they can, sit in the car with you while you're driving it, and then have them drive it also into, and to check under the hood and all this other stuff, because they will know some things that, I, as a young lady, may not know, all of that good stuff. But definitely make sure that you do your due diligence if you are buying a new and or used car. And these prices are beyond crazy. And I'm sorry, Sweet Reed, that you may have to jump out there into that pool of buying a new vehicle, etc. I hope yours, whatever type of car it was, hopefully it lasted you a good long while. And oh, sweetie said, I had a Nissan Altima before, and it drove so good. Yes, and it has a lot of get up and go. I was like, oh my goodness, what the? Oh, this thing was. I really, really, really. I love the Nissan Altima, but Honda is my favorite. But that was the other foreign car that I had gotten. Yeah. And like I mentioned before, on this Oarsman Honda here, it had an express checkout, and I just clicked on it. And if I was paying cash, if I paid cash, it would be $30,666. That includes taxes and fees. I guess the taxes and fees for your state and whatever else that's going on. That is what you would pay for in cash. And to lease it, you would pay $366.25 per month. And that includes taxes and fees on approved credit. And of course, we know, yes, wow. And of course, we know your credit worthiness, your credit history, all of that is going to come into play if you are doing the financing, whether it's at your credit union, your local bank, or at the dealership. Approved credit. And so, and like the fine print here mentioned, you may not qualify for some of the options, the discounts, the specials, the incentives that they are offering at the dealership. You may not qualify for that. And that was to lease. If you wanted to finance, and this is what they have, is $517.45 a month. That includes taxes and fees on approved credit. $2,500, $2,500 down, 60 months, which is 5 years, at 3.9% APR. And this offer expires October 31st, 2023. Now, that 3.9, once again, your credit worthiness, your credit history will dictate what the interest rate is going to be for you. And that's just $2,500 down. Like I mentioned before, if you do if you can, do your best to save up as much money as you can, so you can put down a hefty, and that's just me, the word I'm using, a good down payment, so that the financing won't be so bad. And pre-qualifying will probably be a good thing also too, if you can get that through your, through your credit union, etc. It's just so many things out here, folks. So many things, tips, and other stuff for you all to consider. Google is your friend. Go and look up the information and do your own due diligence with regards to all of this, because everyone's situation is different. Everyone's situation is different. But I would hate to have to get out here into this, having to buy a new and or used car, pool. But yeah, just take your time, do your due diligence, etc. If you know that you have a car that's, and this is just me picking a random number, 10 or 12 plus years old, what have you, now would probably be a good time to start a cash envelope, for a new and or used car. And of course, the one that you have, keep doing the basic maintenance on it and love on it so that nothing happens. This is just getting crazy. These prices, well, they've been crazy for a long period of time. They've been crazy for a long period of time. And I know that some people want to get a new car because their neighbors got a new car, or their boss got a new car, or someone at work got a new car, cousin, Uncle Mike, Auntie Cheryl, whomever got a new car, and people want a new car. People want a new car, all of that good stuff. It doesn't have to be you. You do what is best for you, all of that good stuff, all that good stuff. I have a Mercedes-Benz with over 125,000 miles. I don't want a payment. I wanted to make it to 200,000 miles. Yes, yes. And 125 miles seems low for a Benz. I get you. I get you. What's going on with this German engineering? I hear you. I hear you. And at this point, you don't think it will, Sweet Reed? I'm making an assumption based on what you said prior. God knows. I hope that it does. I hope that it does. Now, the AI Virginia Show, my moderator extraordinaire, has asked a question. What is your dream car? So for you all that are in the chat, you can tell me, what is your dream car, or do you already have it? Sweet Reed, the Benz may be her dream car, and she has it already. Well, a dream car, don't know, but my dream is to not have a car payment. That's going to always be a dream of mine, not to have a car payment. But I would like to maybe a Porsche, like one of those with the panoramic something. See, I don't know in full what all, but they have like the panoramic sky view window, whatever that roof thing type, that is what I would like to have, a Porsche of some type with that. Joshua Gabriel said, I wish I could do Mercedes-Benz car. Oh, if you win the jackpot, the lottery, I will buy a car. Okay, you know how to drive, Joshua? Okay. Okay, right. No car payment. Yeah, no car payment is the dream, is the dream. Not the dream. Well, the dream car is no car payment. Dreaming of no car payment at all, ever again, period. But I know that, things happen, and then here we find ourselves. Here we find ourselves. Okay, great, great, Joshua. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. What about you, the ARG show? What is your dream car? What is your dream car? Me, a limo with a driver, please. Which has a cost. The limo driver will come with a cost. Will come with a cost. Will come with a cost. Yes, but who? Man, I hope I didn't talk something up with talking about this, but yeah. And as you know, when I do my shorts, filming the traffic and the gas prices. And I did a short today. Go check out my community while I put my shorts on there today. And gas was down 4 cents for me from the last time that I posted. It was 3.15 today. I think it was 3.19 the last time when I got gas here in Maryland. Here in Maryland, I got gas. It was 3.19. So it was down 4 cents. And this is not like at the big box, as I call it, the big box gas station. This is just, one of the off-brand, one of the generic, I'll call it, things. Oh yeah, she like two emoji limit, two emoji limit. That's a YouTube rule. Two emoji limit. FYI, FYI. Yeah, Sweet Reed is back. Sweet Reed is back. I am glad that all worked out well for you, Sweet Reed, with regards to what you had going on. I know you mentioned it when you came to my live either this morning or yesterday, last night, but yeah, glad that it all worked out well and that your son took care of it. How old is son doing? No worries. No worries. It's been a minute since you were taking care of your stuff. How is oldest son doing? I need to stop. What type of car does oldest son have? I need to stop. But yes, please make sure that if you're considering buying a new or a used car, and of course the used car will be new to you, that you do your due diligence, i.e. your research, gather all the information and facts, do your pro and con list, and some of the things that I mentioned that you might want to consider when you looking at buying a new car or used car, etc. And what is the purpose of the vehicle? Why are you buying this particular vehicle? Why are you buying this particular vehicle? Okay, oldest son, he is doing good. He has a Lexus. Okay. Keeping it foreign. Toyota, correct? Yeah, I think Toyota, yes. But nonetheless, yes, 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 yes. Why are you buying this vehicle? Is because yours is on the outs and it's going to cost you more to put into the car that's on the outs, and you can just take that money and put it towards a down payment for a new and improved car. What is the purpose of your buying the vehicle? Are you giving this particular car to a son or daughter, someone like that, and you're going to just upgrade and get yourself a new car, etc.? That is good. That is good. Optional items for this new car that you're going to purchase. Those items will cost. Like if you're getting a spoiler or you're having a whole kit, I don't know what all other types of things that they have. If you're getting a navigation system put in there, and maybe most of them have that in there now. I don't have one in mind. That's why I'm mentioning it. Maybe that is an optional item, or maybe that is something that is standard now. Or maybe the one that's in there is too small. You would like something larger. A whole host of optional items, which will add to the cost of the vehicle. Some things to consider. Of course, your financing, the interest rate, all of that. And like I said before, when I bought my 2001 Honda, I said, I can make that payment. That was all I was interested in. I could make that payment. I didn't care about the interest rate or any of that stuff. Like I mentioned before, I didn't care about any of that. Sweet Reese said, my husband, both sons and granddaughter, Ben told me to get a car. The granddaughter, Chloe. Chloe is in on it. Chloe said, Grandma, you better get a new car. Wow. Okay. Whew. But yeah. Yeah, do your due diligence, all the research, all of that stuff, all of that stuff. Yeah, like I mentioned, cost, interest rate, etc. Will you get a warranty from the dealership? That's going to be an extra cost. Some people, when they're buying a new car, they want to make sure that nothing happens to it, for so many time after so many years. And I think most of the dealerships, they offer a warranty, and you definitely got to read that fine print also into, because it says something about a powertrain and we don't know what that is. And most of the time when something happens to your car, it's not a part of what it is that they have in the warranty, and you end up kicking out money. You're going to have to consider that too. That will be money out of your pocket. Just some things to consider. And the overall upkeep and maintenance of the vehicle. And I'm just talking about basic things that you can probably get a shade tree mechanic or someone like that to do, oil changes, new tires, tire rotations, belts, any of these small things, brake pads, rotors, etc. Small stuff that you can probably hire someone to do cheaper than you can than taking it to the dealership or what have you. But if you are a single woman and you don't know anyone like that in your town, city, etc., then you're probably going to take it to a dealership and get taken for a ride. And that's not a good thing. Gas prices, they fluctuate depending on where you are, all of this other good stuff. How many people will be driving this new car? Just you, you and your spouse? Will the 15 and 16-year-old be driving it also in two? And a lot of things go bump in the night when those 15 and 16-year-olds are driving it. I have a daughter. Yes. Yeah. Here we are, folks. Here we are. Rooted says you have to read the fine print, pull out pull out the magnifying glass to read over the contract. Yes, yes, and yes. And even when you go to the dealership, and I know that I did not do this, but hindsight is 2020. I can pass information on to others. Just take that magnifying glass, make sure that you have all day to do it, because you want to sit there and read it, and they will probably get upset with you, but that's neither here nor there. You are the one that's there spending your hard-earned money on the money that you will be working for after you leave the dealership to make the payments to either the bank, credit union, or to, GMAC, Ford Financing, Ford Motor Credit, whomever else, that type of thing. So no, that's your money. That's your money. If you have to sit there all day and read it, then do so. Then do so. Insurance costs. Once again, though, the insurance company, if you have a car and a key fob, etc., and a 15 or 16-year-old in your home, they're going to slap them on there. Cancel Christmas. They will do it. They will know that if they have access to the car and they got learners, that they're going to get in there and they're going to drive it. And probably the parents want to drive them too, want them to drive because they are tired of shuffling them around for so many years, if they're being the soccer mom this week and all this other stuff, and baseball, basketball, volleyball, any other type of practice, all that good stuff. And of course, consider the distance that you are going to drive, uh, every day, yearly, et cetera, et cetera. And it did mention the prices that you can pay if you pay cash and you finance it or lease it, et cetera. Just consider all the options that are going to work or not work for you. Make sure that you make sure that you put that on your pros and cons list with regards to all of this stuff. Hello, Rachel Vanterpool. How are you? Thanks so much for being here. Wellness with Frugal Mama. How are you? How are the young men? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Going over some car tips and stuff, etc. And I was talking about the previous cars that I had and the car that I got now, etc. But yeah, and one of the things on here, the pro and con list, of course, you're going to write down the good, the bad, and the ugly of your buying a new and or used car. Make sure that you don't go to the dealership by yourself. Please find someone that is in the know about sales and negotiation, preferably with cars. That is going to be helpful to you. That is going to be helpful to you. And like I said, sometimes, young ladies don't have a father figure in their life, or a father or an uncle or someone that can assist them with this. English is not my first language. And they find themselves going to the dealership, and they like and want, the blue, whatever it is, type of car, and they get it, and then, whoo, they don't read the fine print, and they end up with a very high monthly payment over so many years, and kind of sort of get taken advantage of, taken for a ride. And here we are, and here they are, and they don't know how to get out of it, and they may do something drastic to get out of it, and that's not going to be helpful to their credit score, credit report, and all of this, their credit worthiness the next time they want to go and buy anything, really, even to get a credit card. It's not going to look good. So just need to make sure that we are doing our due diligence and research. Can you hold off on buying? Can you hold off on buying the new or used car until you save up a good down payment to where you can, without saying, "Oh, I can just handle this payment like I did when I bought my 2001. Oh, I can make this payment." To where you can say, "Okay, the monthly payment is not going to be a big deal, because you know what the monthly payment is going to be already, because you run the numbers and you know what you can handle. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be problematic. You know how many months you are going to finance this car for, because you've done your due diligence. And if you saved up a good down payment, you already know that you're going to be good, that you're going to be good. Yeah, don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Do your due diligence. Internet is here to help you, me, and the next person in a whole host of areas. Car buying. Car buying is one of them. Lots of good content and content creators out here to give you information, tips, pointers, etc., do's and don'ts with regards to car buying. And I'm sure that the used cars are probably just as high as the new ones, from some of the things that I am hearing. I am not in the market for a new or a used vehicle. I'm not trying to do that. I am not trying to do that. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was helpful. What else is going on, folks? What else is going on? Today was my spend day. So I was out there. Oh, and I'm still not done spending, because I got to go and take my grandkids and stuff. What, what the two youngest ones, because the other two are adults. And no, not going to happen. Not going to happen. But yeah. Oh, yeah, it was my spend day today. And the contest, running the contest number 3. The prize is free sponsorship on the channel. Free sponsorship on the channel. The rules are pretty much the same. If you want your share out this live or a silent live, share it out to your community wall and get your link dropped in the chat during the live and the silent live. And then your name goes into the hat for the drawing that will be held on Sunday upcoming. And if you are the winner, you get free sponsorship here on Wanda Budgets and Beyond. And what that means is, when I do my live, I will say my hellos, etc. And then I say, this live is sponsored by whoever the winner is. You will know on Sunday. And then I'll do my presentation. And then at the end, I will say, this live was sponsored by, once again, whoever the winner is, and then close out the live. And of course, I will put your link on my community wall. I'll put your link on my community wall. And also, your link will be dropped in the chat after I say, this live is sponsored by whomever the winner is. And of course, your link will be dropped in the chat during the live. And that's it. And then free sponsorship for 7 days, from Sunday upcoming until the next Sunday, when a new a new winner will be announced. So 7 days of free sponsorship here on Wanda Budgets and Beyond. Two emoji limit in the chat. Two emoji limit in the chat, folks. That is a YouTube rule. YouTube rule. Two emoji limit in the chat. And if you are a winner of any of the contests, say for instance, someone is the winner of contest number 3, you cannot participate in contest number 4. You have to wait until contest number 5, because I don't want anyone to think that something shady is going on over here if someone wins back to back. Not having that. Not having that. Love this, Miss Wanda just shared you out. Thanks so much, Ruta and Essential Oils. And you shared me out before. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But yeah, free sponsorship, that is a good way to get, eyes and people to your channel, all of that good stuff. Yeah. Yes. And yeah. Be very careful with your car buying. And the same thing goes for, home buying also into. Definitely got to read the fine print, which of course, again, I didn't do it. I was buying my home because I was just so excited about, I'm going to own a home and all this other stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, got to read the fine print because they will get you. They will get you. Thanks so much. I think Shangy Girl shared me out also into. Thank you so much, Shangy Girl, for sharing me out. Shangy Girl, one of our international friends, go and check out her channel. She is doing sightseeing in her community. She does little adventures. She has dogs. I think she has 2 dogs, or at least 1 dog, etc. It's a vlog type of channel. Go check out Shangy Girl. Her link is in the chat, folks. Her link is in the chat. Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out. Healthy plant-based living. Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out. He goes live, as does Shangy Girl. He goes live teaching us about his plant-based living, and he does sell his products. So when you go over there to Rooted in Essential Oils, please make sure you always check out the description box, because it will have codes to where you can save some coins. This is a budgeting channel, but check out Rooted in Essential Oils, telling you all about the plant-based living, the essential oils, and all the benefits, all the health benefits that you can derive from living a plant-based life, utilizing essential oils and other products to keep your home, your car, a whole host of things clean, smelling fresh, and of course, plant-based, all natural, all natural. Thank you so much, Rooted in Essential Oils, for sharing me out to your community wall. I do appreciate it. Your name will go into the hat for Sunday's drawing. And of course, after my live, I will post your channel link to my community wall, And that goes for Shangy Girl also into. Yes, click on all the links in the chat. Shout out to the replay gang, because when you share and then your link is there, the replay gang, when they come back and check out the live, they will see the links there. And they may be so inclined to go and click on it and all of that good stuff. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You don't have to thank me. Thank you. Thank you for sharing me out. Thank you for sharing me out. Thank you for sharing me out. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. How are you doing tonight, Val, over there at the jury spot? How are you? How are things going? How are things going? Yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. Thanks for the 16 likes. I see 16 and maybe 17 likes. I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. And go and check out my shorts on my community wall. And of course, here on Wanda Budgets and Beyond on the channel also. Also into check out my playlist, etc. I do appreciate you all for being here. Hopefully, some of this information was helpful. Click on all the links in the chat, folks. Click on all the links in the chat. Shangy Girl, her link is in the chat. Go and check her out. Like I said, she's one of our international friends. All are welcome over here. One of our international friends, taking us on adventures, shopping, sightseeing, things she's doing in and around her city, her town. Shangy Girl. And she does go live. Go check her out. And of course, Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out. And of course, it is that time of year, cold, flu, sniffles, and anything else that they have going on. You all know what it is. I'm not going to say. And having a plant-based regimen, cleaning routine, using a humidifier, rooted in essential oils can teach you, show you how all to do that, how all to do that. He does sell these products. Go over to his channel to get more information on that. And of course, as always, read the description, check the description box, read the information in there, and you can save some coins. Rooted in essential oils. Check him out. Check him out. Famous. That is actually his name. Famous. Yes. Thank you all so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I am going to end this live so I can get out here and do the things for the grandkids. Always something. Always something with the grandkids. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't. Cash into envelopes backup channel. Check me out over there, folks. Check me out over there. Check me out over there. Carbine. Ah, always something. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Click on all the links. Shangy Girl, rooted in essential oils. Thank you so much for sharing me to your community walls. Bye-bye, everyone. And thank you all for being here. I do appreciate the support greatly. Bye-bye.